Well, the bell's a little fast. Just wanted to make a comment. We did a little checking up after you guys left. There is 3 other counties at least that have already rescinded their orders. And we talked to the former circuit court judge here, and he didn't much agree with how the decisions were made in his court. So we think that circuit court probably made his decision based on what he thought was the best way to move forward. So that's the only other 2 things that I wanted to add.
Okay, everyone is in here for us to vote on whether we want to rescind our health ordinance or not. So, I'm gonna ask for a motion.
Well, we got the motion on the floor.
Oh, yeah, we had the motion last
What was-
week, yeah,
You got the minutes, copy of that minute?
yeah.
It was the March 2nd minutes.
Which day was it?
March 2nd, I think it is.
Second? Okay, I'll have it. Okay, as it said in the minutes, last Wednesday, Commissioner Rockwell moved to rescind the ordinance 09-01. The motion was seconded by Commissioner Wiggins. Commissioner Wiggins moved to postpone the vote until March 10th of 2022 at 11 a.m. The motion was seconded by Commissioner Rockwell and carried 3-0. So the motion was made and said to rescind it, but we put the vote off till today. So, ask right now if there's a motion on the floor to rescind the health ordinance.
You, I moved to have a roll call vote.
Okay. Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Wiggins?
Aye.
Rockwell?
Aye.
And myself, I vote aye also. To rescind the health ordinance, effective this day. We've got paper here with all of us to sign when we do this. Okay, paperwork is signed, so thank you everybody for coming.
Do you wanna read the order of printing and publication?
Okay. The Scotland County Commission hereby orders repeal of ordinance 09-01, an ordinance establishing health regulations for concentrated animal feeding operations, providing standards for the permitting of concentrated animal feeding operations, providing definitions, providing an effective date, and providing for severability, amended 7/16 and 14, amended 10/29 of 15. Order of printing and publication. Upon adoption of this order, the county commission declares and orders that notice of this order be printed and made available for distribution to the public in the office of the county clerk. and orders a copy of this order to be published in a newspaper in the county for 3 successive weeks, not later than 30 days after the entry of the order. And number 3, legal effect. This order shall be in full force and effect from after its passage. Adopted this 10th day of March, 2022. Signed, Dwayne Evans, presiding commissioner, David Wiggins, western commissioner, district commissioner, and Brent Rockholt, eastern district commissioner. Attest, Latina Dodge, county clerk.
Before I clear out of here, we're live streaming. Could you guys just say a few words about why you made this decision to repeal the ordinance?
Well, I'll start with the legislators in the state of Missouri decided that they didn't think a county should have any stricter ordinance than the DNR does. And ours had stricter things in it. So they passed this in the legislature to get rid of all the county ordinances so that every county would be the same, whatever the DNR is. Since that passed, there has been a lawsuit filed to try to stop it, which is still ongoing. We just decided we couldn't enforce our ordinance right now, if anybody wanted us to, so we just decided that we would repeal it for right now.
And I just want to touch on, you guys are under threat of lawsuit. You know, we're under threat of lawsuit right now. Or were before you made this repeal.
Well, there was a lawsuit earlier on.
There's nothing official.
No.
Okay, and do you have any official requests for a concentrated animal feeding operation to come into Scotland County?
No one has come to the courthouse and requested the application.
Okay. What was your reason for voting for this?
Dwayne pretty much just outlined them, the state law. We have, we have no way to enforce anything above that. And we could be subject to litigation if somebody does come in and apply for one.
Is that the same for you?
Yeah, we looked about adopting, I always talked to our attorney about adopting the state law, and upon realization there was not much we could do to enforce the state law, so we decided just to repeal it.
Do you guys have anything you want to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add. I don't think so.
Can we ask questions?
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Rockhold, can you tell me your source for the information about 3 other counties that have rescinded their health ordinance?
I got that from Ashley McCarty.
Ashley McCarty?
Yeah.
And who is that person?
She's I don't know what her title is. I don't know if it's CEO or director for Missouri Farmers Care.
Got it.
And who was the judge that you mentioned? Was the judge?
Judge DeMars, or
No, former circuit court judge here,
what was his name?
Judge Dow.
Judge Dial, right? Thank you. I guess I also have a question why you didn't consider other ways of getting funds for enforcement instead of doing away with our local control of our health here in Scotland County.
Well, we've been visiting with our attorney about this, and he thought this was probably the way to go right now, so.
Who did?
Our attorney
Uh-huh.
that we use.
Can you tell me their name?
Well, his name is Travis Elliott.
And he advised you to go this route?
Well,
He didn't advise us, he just said,
there's 2 or 3 routes we could go.
yeah.
So this was one route that we decided to go.
We
But
could,
did he recommend that, or my question was about funding the enforcement, and you mentioned that he had advised that you do what you just did. So does that mean that he advised you
No,
to
he
not?
said he didn't he didn't advise us.
No.
He did not
No.
make a recommendation
I
to
see.
us to what to do.
Yeah, he just told us different options that we could do,
Uh-huh.
and this is the one that we did.
And enforcement was one of the options, but finding
Mhm.
that. And can you tell me why you chose not to go in that direction?
We just chose to go the way we went because we haven't had anybody coming in wanting to build any. And we were of the opinion that we wouldn't be able to enforce our ordinance right now because of the Senate Bill 391.
Thank you.
I'm gonna squeeze out this way. Did you want to add anything?
No,
Dave?
I'm good.
Can't see behind you.
You can go that direction through the front office if you want, if that's easier.
I don't want to live stream the back of your desk.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you for your time, yeah.
Thank you.
Steve, let's head over here. See if I can-
Down here with the flag back.
Well, we're live. I mean, this is fine. Let's just. Steve, could you just say and spell your name for me and give me your title?
Sure. Steve Jeffrey, Jeffery, attorney.
And can you just tell me what you're doing here today, what the purposes of your visit for this particular vote?
Sure. The purpose of my presence at the Scotland County Commission meeting today was just to provide additional information to the commissioners as they were considering a motion whether or not to rescind the Scotland County Health Ordinance, which has been on the books for several years.
And what was your communication to them, before this actual vote?
I just wanted to make them aware that the legislation in question, Senate Bill 391, that they were relying on for their assumption that their county ordinance was invalid, that there had been a court case about that they were aware of down in Cole County, but that case had been appealed to the Missouri Supreme Court. And a final decision on all the legal questions probably won't come out until roughly a year from now, 9 to 12 months from now. So my suggestion to the commissioners will, instead of rescinding your health ordinance, just do nothing, leave it on the books until the court case plays out and the dust settles, as it were, to resolve all the legal questions. And if the Supreme Court decides yes, it does invalidate your ordinance, then you could potentially vote to rescind it or vote to amend it or change it in such a way that it's consistent with what Senate Bill 391 says.
And then are you yourself in any litigation defending county health ordinances elsewhere in the state?
I have several clients, citizen groups around the state who have concerns, about the presence of CAFOs located in their communities. And in some of those counties, they have health ordinances. For example, I represent a group in Livingston County, and Livingston County has a CAFO health ordinance, and it's my understanding that commission made the decision they're just going to maintain theirs on the books and wait until this court case is resolved.
So, as an attorney and given your interest here, because there were quite a few people here in opposition to repealing this ordinance, what would your advice be to Scotland County citizens who are also against this repeal of the health ordinance?
Well, I think they have started efforts to create a grassroots organization to consider these issues. I think the primary issue is one of local control. That is, whether or not local county residents should have a voice into whether or not there should be additional regulations on these types of agricultural facilities that are reasonable and based on sound science. I'm not familiar exactly with the content of what the current Scotland County ordinance provides for, but it's my understanding, based on comments by the different commissioners today, that their primary concern was, well, they just can't enforce their ordinance. And I think it's my understanding what they mean by enforcement is that their ordinance provides for that if someone wants to have one of these facilities, it has to get a county license. And those licenses have a lifetime of 10 years. So approximately 10 years ago, licenses were issued to several facilities, and those licenses are coming up for renewal. But according to the ordinance, the county, prior to renewing the license, has to come out and do an inspection and do these various things, and the county lacks funding to do that. So it's my understanding when the commissioners say they can't enforce it, what they're saying is they lack the resources to do those types of additional inspections to renew those licenses. So the solution they chose was just to rescind the ordinance, and so the county licenses in effect go away.
Do you feel like the decision made here today is going to have any kind of ramifications elsewhere in the state?
I think because each county ordinance is different. For the 20 some odd counties that had health ordinances, probably the fact that this ordinance is not on the books anymore, it's not going to have any immediate impact in the legal sense on any other county or the state, what state agencies do or what the state legislature does. But it could, I think the people who would be directly impacted are county residents, county taxpayers, and county voters.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Is there anything you want to add
No,
that I haven't asked about?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sure.
Hi. Are you wanting to get a letter from me?
I'm live. I'm just going to go ahead and close this live stream down for now. I'm Echo Menges. I am at the Scotland County Courthouse. I'm outside of the Scotland County Commission chambers. You've just watched the vote on to repeal the county health ordinance and some reaction afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now for the Memphis Democrat and the NEMOnews Media Group. I'm Echo Menges.